Hi Jordan, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Alright, so just to get started, since this is our first meeting, I want to go over a couple things.
Okay.
First of all, whatever you say in this meeting is just going to be between us two, and obviously since this is actually a project, one of my professors is going to see it as well. But besides that, everything is just between you and me, except if you say anything that I believe indicates that you're going to harm yourself or others, legally I have to go tell someone. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Okay, sounds good. And besides that, we have about 45 minutes. If you want less time, more time, we can do a little bit more or less if you need. And throughout this meeting, we're going to focus on your problems, anything you want to talk about. And do you have any questions?
Nothing that I can think of.
Okay, sounds good. Also, I have my little notebook. If you have any questions about anything I'm writing down or looking at, just let me know and I'll explain it to you, alright? Okay, so first of all, I want to start out with what brings you in today?
Well, I was sort of sent here by my dean because I failed a few classes and I'm on academic probation right now and am at risk for getting kicked out of the university.
Okay, so it sounds like you're having a hard time with school right now.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. So how have you been dealing with that?
Well, I really haven't been, honestly. I didn't really pay attention to much until I realized that after my finals I had failed classes. I didn't really keep track of anything or...
Okay, so you've been struggling in classes, you've been having a hard time with that. Do you have any ideas why you've been having a hard time with your classes?
Honestly, ever since I joined my sorority, I have definitely been struggling with how to balance my time with partying and my academics and any other things that I've been doing, and that's been a big problem.
College can be really hard, especially, you're a freshman, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Especially coming in as a freshman, coming into a big school, it can be really difficult to learn how to manage your time. Have you thought of ways that you can start to manage your time? Like, is there anything that any practices that you have started to utilize?
Honestly, no. I didn't even think I was going to go to college, so I never really thought of how I was going to deal with anything. This was just kind of last minute. I was like, well, better go to college.
So why didn't you think you were going to go to college?
Well, at the end of my senior year, I found out I was pregnant, and then I was going to keep the baby, but some things happened with the father and I decided to terminate the pregnancy, and I just figured I needed to turn my life around. I went to the same college my mom went to, joined her sorority that she used to be in, just trying to be the all-around perfect daughter, and that is not working out.
Well, the fact that you decided to, as you said, turn your life around is really huge. Just your mindset, that's really important that you have that, you even had that moment of almost, I wouldn't say clarity, or that decision where you want to better yourself is really important. That's a huge strength, and I think it's important that you kind of keep that in mind and hold on to that.
Mm.
Because even though it might be difficult now, it's still possible you can still hold on to that, and you can still keep trying.
Right, but I think the problem is that I kind of decided that I was going to turn it around, but didn't really do anything further than enrolling in college.
Okay, so you feel that the problem is that you made this decision, but you weren't ready to follow up on it.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay, so what do you believe some of the things we can do to start to follow up on it? Is that something you want to do? Do you want to follow up on that initial decision, or do you want to consider other decisions? Because that's always an option too.
At this point, I really don't know what I want to do with my life, because I just assumed that it was just a thing. You just go to college, you graduate, you get on with your life. I didn't really realize it was actually going to be difficult.
I've heard that from students before where it's kind of college is just expected of them. It's important for you to remember that it's not the only option. We have a lot of options open for you. So you can continue college. We can work out different options for you, ways to cope with your time management, classes, the sorority, and even spending time with friends and stuff. Or if you decide that college isn't something you want to pursue, there are other options like career management type of stuff, and we can focus on looking for work and honing careers type of skills rather than school stuff. Or really there's a lot of different ways we can go with this. So I think it's important for you to remember that we can go in all these different places. But right now I do want to focus on some of the things that the problem that you were kind of talking about. So you said, like we said before, that the problem is that you made this decision but you can't follow up on it. So let's say that you decide that you do want to continue school. If that's a decision that you make, the problem that you've been having right now is you said that you've been failing your classes. So I'd like to go into greater detail on that. So what are some of the issues with that? So have you been not showing up to classes, not doing homework, struggling with it?
It's sort of a mixture of things. It's not necessarily that I haven't been trying. So if I do end up going to the classes, I pay attention in them to the best of my ability. But I've been having a lot of problems with really... Honestly, I think I've been partying too much. And I'll wake up whenever I wake up. If I missed class, I don't seem to care about it. If I forgot to do my homework the night before because I went out to get drunk, I don't care. And I care now, I guess, now that I've wasted all of this year's tuition so far on 3 failed classes and 2 C's. So...
Okay. So you feel like you don't care. That's kind of the idea, or you didn't care. Now you kind of, it's all crashing in, and you're feeling that you made some mistakes, but at the time you were feeling that it didn't matter. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'd say that's right.
Okay. So that's interesting. And you also mentioned the abortion. So
Yes.
have you considered that affecting your outlook or your decisions to party? Because I know that can have emotional repercussions. And
I mean, I hadn't really thought about that, but I just thought that was an important part of the story, because that's kind of where I was like, oh, I screwed up. I should probably not keep going how things were going, and then they just actually seemed to get worse, so that's good.
well, so you feel that things have been getting worse?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Is there any point in time where you feel that things have been going your way? Any small moment?
When I got into the sorority, I told my mom about it. She seemed pretty proud of me and pretty excited that I was following in her footsteps. But I mean, after that, I just kind of went on downhill.
Felt like you were tumbling down?
Yeah.
I think the relationship that you have with your mom is really important. Do you still have that relationship and communicate with her like that?
Well, I haven't really been telling her about any of the downfalls. Every time she asks, I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's going real good. Everything's fine. Because I don't really know how to deal with it. I'm not very good at dealing with my problems.
That's one of the things that I think we can address here in future meetings. And right now it looks like we're about out of time, unfortunately. So for today, I think it's really important that it's good that we talked about a lot of your main problems, and we kind of started a base about what we can go over for future meetings. I hope that you kind of got an idea of some things that you might want to think about and bring any ideas about what you want to talk about for next time. Is there anything that you want to go over or talk about in the last 5 minutes that we have?
Not really. I think you got most of the
Hit most of the bulk?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Well then, I will see you next week.
See you next Tuesday.